Hey everybody, it's Brad.
And I'm Krista.
For the Big Family Homestead, and in this video, it just occurred to me today as we were getting out of the truck, and it was icy because, it's Wisconsin and it's spring, so, you expect ice.
Right, and snow and,
Which, I know, we're teasing, but yeah.
Yeah.
So, but hit the deck because there was ice on the running board, and then the running board became mud, and then mud became ice, and then Brad hit the deck. And so what jarred loose was this. The top 4 categories of preparedness, emergency, you should have these things for the what if scenarios of life in case the what if scenarios of life happen.
Right. And not, zombie apocalypse,
No.
not economic, not just that stuff. It's for whatever.
Stuff happens.
Your spouse loses a job, your spouse gets sick, your spouse, Lord forbid, but this stuff happens.
And, well, here's the thing. Who would have thought with COVID, who would have thought before COVID that we would all be doing telemedicine now? What? Why would we do that?
I don't like it at all.
Life's changed fast. So that's why we're kind of looking at things. We're reassessing and going, all right, well, what can we maybe do better? So that if something weird were to happen, heaven forbid, but what if all of a sudden you couldn't get to a doctor?
Right.
That brings us to category number 1, which is?
Medical. Not just, prescriptions, but eye care, dental,
Diabetes.
I mean, if your child or you have type 1 diabetes,
What are you going to do?
what are you going to do when, we have a friend who actually their daughter has type 1 diabetes and she has to have insulin. And
What if you can't call up the doctor and the pharmacist isn't going to prescribe stuff?
right.
These are things that we honestly feel like, okay, there's so many medical issues that we can't address them all, so we're not even going to try.
Right.
But what we are going to say is that whatever your medical issues are, you should probably look for a secondary way or a third way to take care of things, whether it's as simple as go buy another pair of glasses.
Right. Yeah.
Or
I have, I think 4 pairs of readers laying around the house. One in my purse, one at my desk, one in the bedroom. Actually, no, I have 3. Grace took one. She borrows it when she's doing her beads. So.
well, and there's another way to look at things too. Like, let's say that you want to have certain extras on hand that you may not be able to get through the normal gatekeepers here in the United States. Well, I know a lot of people who have taken up the hobby of, aquarium life for certain things.
Yep.
To have extras on hand. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, and by the way, this is a funny thing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, this is one of the ways that we have gotten away with saying a lot of things without saying a lot of things. And that's by being vague. And if you wonder, what in the heck are they talking about? Start Googling it. Yeah. Because we would really like to keep communicating with you guys. And if we cross too many boundaries, YouTube and Google and all the big, social media, they don't like it.
No, they don't.
So you look it up. But there are ways that you can get extras to have on hand for certain things. But medical, it's not just glasses. It's not just, go to the doctor. Find out if there's an issue now while you can go to the doctor.
Right. Go to the dentist. Make sure you don't have any teeth, that are starting with cavities, because if you don't take care of it in 5 years, that tooth could be rotting out of your face.
Or 6 months.
Exactly.
Little trick for the teeth thing. We've talked about this recently, that if you have to bust your own tooth out because you've got a real issue, black tea.
Black tea will help to stop the bleeding. So you put a dry tea bag, a dry black tea bag in your mouth, and you hold it there. Don't suck on it. Don't press
push it.
Just kind of hold it there like you would hold gauze in your mouth to stop bleeding. But the tannins in the black tea help the bleeding to stop.
The capillaries.
Yeah, it works fantastic.
And that was told to us by dentists, and we've confirmed it with other sources, and I've done it myself. And
actually our oldest son David had his wisdom teeth out, and we had told him about that right before he had his teeth pulled, and he said that worked great. He loved it.
Well, another thing, since I just got diverticulitis, how about you look into other possible health issues now? Like, I don't know, I've lost 25 pounds in the last, how many months?
2 month and a half.
2, 3, maybe 3.
No.
Anyway, I've lost some weight, and honestly, it's because I'm making changes, and I'm making changes because those kind of life things rattle you. And what if I couldn't have gotten to the doctor or antibiotics or natural meds, which that's another big part to this, is look into things you can make / do / grow / acquire that you don't need a pharmacy for.
Right.
There are tons of books of Ermel. It's our Aunt Ermel. She's got a beard now. It's weird. She always wants you to kiss her, but it tickles. Herbal remedies. We don't have an Ermel aunt.
No, we don't. No. His stories can just progress and go on and on and on and just into nothing that makes sense.
To you.
No, but actually, you make up these stories, and this is totally off topic. Anyway,
Who's ranting now?
I'm not ranting.
Not yet.
No, I'm not ranting. It's just something fun.
I have a weird ability where I can just make up a story that sounds believable, and then I give you just enough
What? Yeah.
to keep you interested and just keep it rolling. But for another day. Okay.
Anyway.
So medical, look into your medical stuff. Nobody thinks about that till it's too late, and that's the kind of thing you need to think about that now. What was our second category?
Future clothing and shoes.
Future clothing, as in like goggles that can see through walls?
No. Say you have children. Well, those children grow, and if you don't have shoes for them to fit into, then they're going to go barefoot. And you can't do that here in Wisconsin. And I'm not saying that everybody is in, and you don't have to go and spend a ton of money on shoes. Just go to the thrift store and pick up a few different sizes and put them in a bin. I don't think we have a shoe bin. We've run through all of our shoes.
We've got clothing.
We have clothing bins, but we're out of shoes. What?
Well, that she has actually marked for ages and sizes.
Yeah. Yep. So, but shoes, shoes are important when you're having to go out and work and just exist in life. You have to have shoes and
other future clothing.
Yeah, having shoes is important. Anyway. Sorry.
That's okay. Other future clothing, work clothes.
Work clothes, yeah.
In looking at a lot of people who have been through horrible things like Bosnia, they said that once the initial collapse happened, new items of need became very important, like rebuilding everything. Everything is war-torn. And so having clothes to work in as adults, hugely important.
Yeah.
Things like that, how about things wear out? Jackets wear out.
Yeah.
Even your blankets wear out. If you can go to a garage sale and you can pick up a blanket for $1, get it.
Yeah.
Even if you got to give it to somebody else, that's $1.
Right. That's a huge thing. I mean, thrift stores have blankets for really inexpensive prices. Don't buy a brand new blanket. Buy used blankets. Put them in a tub. We have bunches of them that have been given to us.
Well, and here, if all of a sudden something doesn't work for heating, you're not going to freeze if you got enough blankets.
Right. That's true.
So anyway, but future clothing, think about those things that you might not necessarily need right this second, but everybody's shoes are going to wear out, not just kids.
Right.
You know, so think about those things, future clothing. What was our next category? Oh, this one's you.
This is all me. Feminine hygiene products. Yes. It's one of those things
It's a thing.
that all females go through, and less surgery has been. Yeah, anyway.
Or you're old.
Thanks, hon. I'm not old.
And this is how things go downhill.
Okay, stop. So, yes, feminine hygiene products are something that's really important. If you don't want to store up a bunch of ones that you buy from the store, make some. There's actually a lot of videos out there on how to make homemade ones. Yes, you have to wash them, but it's it's reusable. And
If you were
Yeah.
okay, because I'm gonna try to walk gingerly. Let's just say that I happen to know people that have used those in the past, and while they work, they're not the first choice, but they work.
they do work. And no, they're not the first choice. But in a pinch,
They work.
they work, right? Buy some inexpensive disposable ones. In a pinch, they help. And they're not just for feminine hygiene.
Well, that's
You
their
have
main use.
Their main use, yes, but an alternative use is for wounds.
They're not fully sterile,
No,
but they're
they're
cleaner
clean.
than a rag you found laying over there.
Yeah, they are
If you
clean.
found something you've been wiping up the shop with, probably not the
Not
best
the-
choice to go, I just cut my arm open.
Ugh. No.
Well, I know lots of guys who will use, either super glue, that's me,
Yeah, you-
or duct tape, or a combination of super glue and duct tape. And you do what you got to do when you're in a pinch. But if you have something that's right there that's clean,
Yeah. Of
Of
course, I don't think there's too many of the feminine hygiene products in a shop.
Well, times are changing, honey. I'm told you can identify with whatever you want, including potted plants. You can, I don't know.
Anyhow,
It's the new, nothing. I'm going to shut up. Warm, happy place. Safe, happy place. Puppies, kittens, crayons.
All right.
Oh my.
connections.
Oh, last category. And this one's a big one, actually. Here's the thing. If weird things happen, we have kind of become students of not just the what if scenarios of human history, because war happens, famines happen, governments do stupid things. I know, that's weird, huh? Strange.
Yeah.
Things get nutty, and you have to learn how to adapt. And so when we say, hey, here's what has happened in these societies, it's not just Brad or Christa's opinion. You can go look them up, Google them yourself, and you can see, okay, these people said they needed this. Bic lighters were a high traded commodity.
Yeah.
Well, why? Because people couldn't cook. They couldn't sterilize things without boiling water. They couldn't heat. There's a lot of so when we say communications, connections, that's an important category that a lot of people just overlook. They don't think about it because why would I? If I need another 10 chickens for laying chickens, I go to Tractor Supply and they have them in a bucket there, right? Well, what if there's no bucket and Tractor Supply isn't open? Then what?
Right. You got to find someone in your area that has an extra 10 chickens that they'd be willing to barter, trade,
Yes.
you name it.
And the other part of that is you can't wait to make those connections after the weirdness happens, or else you're going to get taken advantage of.
Right. And a lot of folks won't want to deal with you because
If you're a stranger.
If you're a stranger, they're not going to want to have anything to do with you.
How do I know you're just not going to come steal my stuff?
Right. Right.
or abuse my family.
Exactly.
Right? So connections, what are the things that you know that you're going to need? Start with the big ones. Shelter, food, water, the big ones. Could I get all those things year round? What about canning? What if, could I resupply what I've put into jars for next season? Would I have enough lids? Would I have enough rings? Would I, if I couldn't get them, could I trade some cucumbers today for 20 canning lids now?
Yeah.
Connections.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be Joe Weirdo being like, hey, you guys want to trade? No. Just start talking to people and you'll find out what they're good at. You'll find out what they're passionate about.
Yeah.
We know a guy who's a friend of the family that he's a bee expert. Beekeeping, honeybees.
Yep.
Tons of beekeeping equipment that he will never probably use at all. He could probably outfit a lot of people with a lot of bees that would provide a lot of honey, that would provide a lot of life-giving nutrition if there was a pinch on. And then, well, there's a lot of things that I know this individual could use in exchange for his expertise.
That's right.
So those are the 4 categories, the main ones that we came up with. What are some ones that you guys would think are essentials that people just don't normally think about?
Yeah.
Share them down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and
Share with your peeps.
your peeps, your homies. I'm gonna stop.
Yes.
Man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. So I'm Brad.
Okay. My name is apparently too funny to say.
I didn't laugh, you did.
I know.
Come on.
My name is... I'm Krista.
You guys have an amazing and blessed day.